Hello students, how are you all? Hope you all are giving your exams PA1, PA2. Have you completed and given your exams or not? Yes, no? So, and now we are moving forward towards our term 1 exam, okay? And the syllabus is lesson number 6 and lesson number 7. So here, today we are going to learn subject science for class 4. Myself Siddhisha from Sri Vasisth Vidyalaya. We are going to learn lesson number 6 and the name of the lesson is plants preparing and storing the food. Kids, in this chapter, all what we are going to learn is plant. How plants work, how they prepare their food, where do they store their food, and structure of a leaf, because leaf is very important portion and very important part of the plant. Okay, and how leaf prepare the food, what is the name of the process, that is photosynthesis. After that, we will learn about the Van Mahotsav, importance of the plants, then interdependence of the animals and plants, means how they both are dependent on each other. These are the things, these are the aims of the chapter that we are going to learn. So from the very beginning, let us start about the plants. See, whenever you will notice a plant, from watching from a very far distance, you will come to know that the color of the plant is green. As far as you will go near, you will come to know that only the leaves are green and the rest of the plant is of either brown or red or depend. Now the question is why the leaves are green. So here there is an important substance of the leaf called chlorophyll, which gives the green color to the leaf. Now the question is, what is the function of chlorophyll? Why the leaves are gifted as chlorophyll? Because the main function of the leaf is to prepare the food. Here, in the presence of chlorophyll, only and only in the presence of chlorophyll, the leaf can prepare their food. Now, chlorophyll is the main substance of the leaf, okay, to prepare the food. Now here, we are going to learn the entire process of preparing the food. Before that, let us know the structure of the leaf.
Okay kids, now let us learn about the different parts of the leaf. So this portion is known as lamina. The entire surface of the leaf is known as lamina. Now these are the tiny, can you see these tiny veins? These veins are known as either veins or side veins. The portion through which the leaf and the stem are attached with each other is known as petiole. Now let us talk about the main part of the leaf, and that is midrib. Now what exactly the midrib is? Can you see this main line, the thick one, which is passing through the middle of the leaf? This is known as midrib. Now this is slightly thicker than the other veins. Okay, why so? Because this midrib is made up of two pipelines. Okay, it is made up of two pipelines of cells. Why two pipelines? Because if one pipeline will carry the water which is absorbed by the stem. Okay, it will carry the water which is absorbed by the stem. And now, what is the function of this second pipeline? The second pipeline will carry the food which is prepared by the leaf. So once again, the midrib is made up of two pipelines. Okay, two pipelines of cells. One will carry what? Water, and the second will carry what? Food. So these are the parts of leaf. Now let us talk about the stomata. So kids, now let us talk about the stomata. Now what these stomatas are? See, on the leaves there are very tiny pores, very tiny. There are very tiny openings, small pores. These are known as stomata. Now what is the function of this stomata? Simple. The function of this stomata is to breathe. Okay. What exactly they breathe? See, as we know that plants breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. So this breathing, that is breathing of carbon dioxide and breath out of the oxygen, is happens in their stomata.
So as we have learned that the structure of the leaf, midrib and petiole and lamina and all the parts of the leaf. Okay, now as I told you that Stomata are the tiny openings or tiny pores through which the leaf can breathe in. Can breathe, they can breathe out. They can extend the gases through the stomata. Now we are going to learn about the process of preparing the food by the leaves. This process is known as photosynthesis. Before I lead to words to the photosynthesis, let me tell you the meaning of the photosynthesis. See here, we can divide the word into two parts. Photosynthesis. The word photo means light. Which light? Tube light? No. The light which comes from the sun. And synthesis. The word meaning synthesis means putting two things together. Here, which kind of things we are going to put together is air, water, chlorophyll and light. A plant has to gather these things and have to cook the food. I repeat, word photo means light, synthesis putting things together. Okay, so come with me and I'll explain you what exactly the photosynthesis process is.
Kids, now next is photosynthesis. Okay, as I explained you, there's the word photo means light, synthesis putting things together. Here in this diagram you can see that the plant is absorbing water from the soil through the stem, okay, absorbing carbon dioxide from the air. In the presence of sunlight, the chlorophyll will make the food. These are the food, and this entire process is known as what? This entire process is known as photosynthesis. This process is known as what? Photosynthesis. Okay.
So kids, we have learned about the photosynthesis. What the photosynthesis is? Preparing the food by the plant. Now, when a plant is ready with the food, there must be a place where to store the food. For an example, if your mother will cook the roti, it is not like that she will throw one here and one there. She must be have stored all the rotis in a container called casserole. Same as a plant has to store the food somewhere. But in all the plants, the place is not equal or the same. Sometimes it may be a fruit, sometimes it may be a seed, sometimes it may be a root or stem. See, we eat plants, okay. Here we eat only that portion of the plant where the food is stored. Here, now we are going to learn that where do plants store their food. Individually we will start, okay. So, when you talk about mango, our favorite fruit, right? Do you eat any other part of the mango tree? No, we eat only fruit. Why so? Why do we not eat the leaves of the mango tree? Because the mango tree stores all the food which is prepared by it in a fruit, and that's what we are eating. When we talk about cabbage, spinach or cauliflower, in these cases what do we eat? We eat leaves. Means what? The plant of the cabbage has stored the food in the leaves. So we are so smart that we will eat only the leaves, not the fruit of the cabbage, okay, or the spinach plant. Same as sometimes the plant will store the food in the seeds. For an example, peas, green peas, nuts or pulses. Pulses are the seeds of the plant only. So we eat the seeds of the plant where the food is stored. Sometimes in many of the cases, plant store its food in stem. For an example, sugarcane. That is what we eat. Okay, we eat stem of the sugarcane plant because the food is stored into the sugarcane plant. Now, what is left is root. Examples where the plant stores its root is, we can say carrot or radish. These are the plants that store their food in root. So kids, here we can conclude that we eat a particular part of the plant where the plant stores its fruit. As I told, somewhere we eat fruit, somewhere leaves, somewhere seeds, somewhere root or stem. Okay. Now, this was all about the normal plants or usual plants, we can say. But no, all the plants are not green plants. All the plants do not have leaves. All the plants cannot prepare their food. Here, the question is how they survive. These kind of plants, they cannot they cannot prepare food, or the plants that do not have leaves or not have not have green leaves, these kind of plants are known as unusual plants. So come, let us see about this some unusual plants. Let us start with the cactus. Have you seen our cactus? Here the cactus doesn't have leaves. Okay, then also it prepares the food. Why? Because cactus is a desert plant. So if so many leaves will be there, then evaporation will be happen, and the things will be go wrong. So this cactus is also an unusual plant having spines on the body. When we talk about non-green plants, we are having so many examples. For an example, let us talk about mushrooms. Yes, they are non-green plants. Then fungi means molds. They are also non-green plants. They cannot prepare food, but yes, they are plant. Then how? The question is how they can survive? Yes, they can survive. They can survive on the decaying matter. For an example, fungi. Have you ever seen a bread which is decaying? A bad bread which we are not going to eat? We have fungi. This fungi is also a kind of plant which grow on the decaying matter, and they can survive. For an example, mushroom is also a non-green plant. It depends on the other plant. Okay. Now, so many plants are there. They are self-survived. Means they can prepare their food, but they are not in green color. So the question is, if they are not having chlorophyll, if they are not green, how they can prepare the food? No. For an example, let us talk about croton. If you will see a croton plant, you will have come to know that it's a red color plant. The leaves are red. So is that like that ki croton plant leaves have no chlorophyll? No. They have chlorophyll, but along with the chlorophyll, they have the other color, red color substance, and that is why the red color hides the green chlorophyll. But yes, they do have chlorophyll. Okay, so these we talked about the unusual plant. Now we are going to learn about, as I told you, that the plant prepare food for their arm. Okay, and who is the kitchen of the plant? Leaves. Now the question is, this food is known as starch. But as you know, this is science. I'll speak, you will believe. No, it is not going to happen. We have to have some experiments to prove that there are starch in the plants. They can prepare food, presence of starch, and also we are going to learn about the experiments like photosynthesis. When we talk about photosynthesis, as I told you, sunlight, air, water, chlorophyll are the main basic essentials to prepare the plant. Okay, so here now we are going to have some experiments, or I am going to explain through the diagrams some experiments. Very first, we are going to check if the leaf has starch in it or not. Okay, starch means whatever the food is prepared, if the leaf has starch or not. So how to do this? How we can do this experiment, or how can we prove this? Okay, so come with me. We'll show an short experiment.
Yes, kids. Now, as we have learned that during photosynthesis, plants make food. Now, how to test this? Means how we can test the presence of starch into the leaf. Okay, starch means food. So here a process is given. Very first we have to bleach the leaf, and then we'll with the help of iodine we can test the presence of starch. Now the question is how to bleach the leaf. So to bleaching the leaf, what we have to do is, first we will boil the leaf first in water and then alcohol. Okay, then we will wash the leaf, and after some time if we pour the few drops of iodine, we can see that the color of the leaf will turn blue black. This blue black color shows the presence of starch.
So kids, here we learned how to prove that the leaf contains starch. Now again we are going to learn that sunlight is also essential for the photosynthesis. So how to prove? Come to me. We'll see through the experiment.
Kids, In photosynthesis, we have learned that sunlight is also very important for the photosynthesis, okay, to prepare the food. Here we have to check what happens if there is no sunlight. Can the plant cook the food without sunlight? Let us check. There is a very simple experiment. What exactly we have to do is simply just select any random leaf, then we will cover it with the black pepper. You can see we have covered the half or little bit of the portion of the leaf with the black pepper. Okay, by covering the leaf we are trying to stop the supply of the sunlight. Okay, we have covered the leaf with the black pepper, means no sunlight will be observed from this portion of the leaf. Now, how to know that if either the leaf has prepared the food or not? And for that, again we will test the leaf for the iodine test. What will happen? The portion of the leaf which was covered, if you will pour some iodine drops on it, the color won't change. Means this much of the portion doesn't contain what? Starch. And this activity, this simple experiment proves that sunlight is also very important for the photosynthesis.
Okay, now back to the point. Here we have done so many experiments, or we have seen so many experiments. So here we are concluding with the storing and preparing the food by the plant. Now, as you know that we are dependent on the plant. Now, as I told you at the beginning of the video, that we are going to learn about the interdependence of the plant. See, there must be a balance of plants and animals in the nature. Why so? As you know that we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. And you also know that plants has a vice versa process. Means they breathe in carbon dioxide and they breathe out oxygen. Now you think what I am trying to tell you, what I am trying to teach you is there must be a balance in nature of animals and plant. Why so? Let us discuss. Think that there are so many numbers of plants on the earth but no numbers of animals, or very less number of animals. What will happen? How, from where the carbon dioxide will come? Which is very essential for the plant. So, for plant, they are dependent on the animal for the carbon dioxide. Same as we are dependent on the plant for the oxygen. Although we can say that not only oxygen, plants gives us many things, but here we will talk about carbon dioxide and oxygen. So whatever we breathe out, plants breathe in. Whatever we breathe in, plants breathe out. So there must be a balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the nature, in the environment, and that comes with the interdependence of the plants and animals. Now kids, I hope you are clear with the interdependence point. Now, let us think about the balance in nature. Think that what will happen if the number of plants will increase a lot and the number of animals will decrease? No, it won't be a balance in the nature. We have to maintain the both. Why? Think that there are so many plants on the earth but no animals. Then from where these plants will get the carbon dioxide? Same as if animals are so much too many in numbers and not the plants, then from where we will get the oxygen? So there is a most important portion, there is a most important topic that we have to maintain the both the numbers of the plants and animals. So to maintain this balance, we have so many programs introduced by the government. For an example, where so many sanctuaries are there where the plants and animals both are given protection, where the animals are reserved in forest and plants are also given the protection. This kind of program like Van Mahotsav, where the government is protecting, or the program, there are so many programs are given where the people are given the awareness to grow more plant, stop cutting plants, and also the protection of the animals are taught. So kids, in this chapter we learn about the plants, how they prepare food, how to have to conduct some experiment that shows the presence of starch and the importance of the sunlight for the plant. Then about the leaf, the structure of the leaf, interdependence of the plant, where does plant store their food, okay, and what we eat, what kind of what parts of the plant we eat. So do learn, and bye.